up? Happy Feral Fridays. Munaf has decided to join me again. I need to raise your salary for joining me as much as you do. It's week 12, player props. I have a high noon in hand. How's it going?
There's no props on today's show. We're just here for the eulogy of Daniel Jones and me giving some moral support.
I almost wore my Daniel Jones shirt. I don't own a Daniel Jones jersey, but it felt weird to wear it. So instead, I'm wearing my cut Kadarius Toney jersey that I cut myself. It felt very on brand. Yes, I was gonna. Yeah, so I wore my cut Kadarius Toney shirt, which makes me think I need to bet on Kadarius Toney this week, which I won't. He had -7 rushing yards. How'd your day go?
It's Friday. You know how it is. We're just getting ready for the weekend. Thursday night football was, I guess, okay. Jalen Warren saved the night for me on his receiving yards, but there was something I was going to mention that I completely just went over.
That was the Browns Super Bowl. Like, can we just have a moment? Like, that was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think so. AFC North Thursday night football at home, snowing, Jameis Winston. I think that if he does not become a pastor after he does retire, there's going to be something wrong. He failed. It's like -5,000 that he's going to become that after.
Yeah, I agree. I would take those odds. He has to do something. He definitely needs a podcast, but I almost think a podcast would be too much time. Like you need Jameis Winston in like doses. Like I don't know that I could listen to him for 2 hours. I might be like, what is going on?
Even like the pregame and postgame stuff, like for a couple minutes, it's good. But then after it's like, is he doing this on purpose? Is this really him? But I just get a kick out of it every single time.
I think he's like an industry plant. Is that what they call the kids call them? I mean, he's like a industry plant for the NFL kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. Let's come on. Daniel Jones.
Tell me a player prop. Give me a player prop, right? Actually, I want to go first because I don't want you to steal this one. So I'm going to go first. Joe Mixon. What are we doing here with the receiving yards? Why are we still setting the line at 17.5, -117? I mean, he's gone over this 6 out of 8 games, 44 yards, actually exactly on the dot, 2 straight. He's gone over his longest the last 2 games, 36 and 37.
Yeah.
His longest reception is 11.5. I'm going to give out a shitload of longest reception, so I'm not going to give that out, but I will give out the over receiving yards.
So another typical week of longest reception props. I think you doubled it up again. Like you mentioned, you take the receiving yards, you take the longest reception, and hopefully gets it done in one catch, like you did on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they're probably just so concentrated on adjusting his numbers for his rushing yards, just because he's been crushing it, that they're kind of forgetting about his receiving yards where he's been dominating there as well. So, I know a lot of people have been playing the rushing and receiving together, but I think that the value right now for at least Joe Mixon is going to lie within those receiving yards.
That number has to be ridiculous. That number has to be ridiculous at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think that this reminds me of the one I was on earlier this season was Devon Achane on his receiving yards. Like we were getting 22.5, 23.5, and I think it was like last week or the week prior, it was like up to 45.5.
I know.
All the value was gone there. But since you're on my Texans, I mean, look, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it, right? Nico Collins, longest reception. Easy. The number I saw, 24.5. He's gone over this number in every single game that he's played this season. We just need one pass. It's been getting it done every single game since he's played. So I did like that one here.
He's kind of like Pickens. He's kind of like Pickens to me, where like the number could be 31.5, and I probably would still be like, I'm gonna take it.
I was kicking myself last night because I think you and I talked about Pickens on Wednesday, and I didn't even play it. And it was like. I didn't, and I should have. And the weather was like getting concerning to me, but he gets over his longest reception, and then freaking Calvin Austin, like we talked about a few weeks ago.
Honestly, he is so lucky. He's so lucky, as if he knows who the fuck I am. Like I knew that was going to happen, but I do love him, so it's fine. It didn't hurt my feelings as much as it probably should. It was 10.5. At one point, his live longest reception was 7.5.
As soon as I saw that first catch, I was like, oh, Stephie's probably throwing something at
I was so pissed. Just absolutely not amused with that. Anything else you like in that game?
I'm a little worried about the spread. It's a good teaser leg, I'll say that much for the Texans. If you want to bring them down to -1.5, I do think they win the game, but this team hasn't really been winning by margin. Unless it's a really, really shitty team. And in a division, just not confident in a big spread here, but I did tease them down to -1.5, and I paired that with the lines down to -1.5. So if you want some teaser legs or some spread talk there, that's all I had.
What's the total on that game
for the Texans?
Yeah,
I thought I saw that 40. Let me see. I thought it was like a low 40. Yeah, 40.5.
Yeah, I think I would like the over in that game. I have said it for a couple weeks. I think that as much as the Cowboys suck ass, which we love, we all love that. I think that win was really important for them, and I do think that they start to put it together. I think they can get hot at the right time. Maybe I'm like, I need a team to be my team, but I think that they can figure it out. And Will Levis is definitely throwing an interception.
Oh, you're talking about the Texans. I'm talking about the Cowboys.
No, I'm talking about the Texans. I'm not ready yet. We'll get there. Okay.
I think this is the time right now for them to like start putting it together. They just need to get like a couple wins. And then, I mean, the AFC South is pretty much there. It's that the Lions are going to beat the Colts this week. And if we take care of business against the Titans, we should be good for the division. But it just makes you nervous that we, again, don't have that second wide receiver or the third wide receiver, especially since Stephon Diggs went down. So we'll see what happens in the postseason. But still a long way to go till we get there.
Yeah. Speaking of the Cowboys,
yes,
this is a player I actually have not bet on a single time this year. I don't think. He was shot before. His name is Brian Robinson Jr.
This is the
I like his over 71.5 rush yards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've watched a single Dallas game, it's not pretty. I mean, it's pretty. I find it very pretty, but I like the over 71.5. What I actually like more is his longest rush of over 15.5. That's at -105. He's gone over this 4 of his last 5 games. And then whatever Eckler's receiving, as always, which I own the Bucks as far as that prop goes. But it felt like
I think the 1 week where Eckler didn't get over his receiving yards, I played it that week. So if you did play that week, I'm sorry. I probably caused a loss there. But I did go back to it this week. So if it doesn't hit this week, then I'm completely off of it, and I'll let you have it for the rest of the season. But I did play that. I'll throw out Luke Schoonmaker for the Cowboys side of things.
Longest reception live.
Yeah, longest reception. Or if you want to take his yardage, Jake Ferguson is confirmed out this week with I believe it was a concussion. I think he has, but he had 10 targets, 6 receptions, 56 yards last week. I think that CeeDee Lamb's pretty much checked out. I mean, I know he's human. These guys are humans. They have their own lives as well. But people say it wasn't a great look that they were out.
Well, some say they were rapping in the club after the game, right?
Yeah, so I saw a video.
Going on? We're rapping in the club.
So I did play Luke Schoonmaker, and then I agree about both your running back props there. I think that Jaden Daniels may still be dealing with that the ribs injury. And if you take a look at his numbers the past couple of weeks, at least his passing yards, it's been down.
He's like throwing short, I feel like. And I feel like that's because of like he has that rib pain probably, and it's making him throw short kind of. You see that often with these guys when they have rib injuries.
Is it the Noah Brown revenge game? I know I messaged you about that earlier.
Oh,
it's his first game against Dallas since he got traded or released, whatever.
I forgot he was there. What are his numbers like? I like that.
I think I saw 36.5 for his receiving yards.
What's his longest? I have a problem. I have an actual problem. It's all I want to bet. It's becoming an issue.
Let's see. 18.5.
I don't know. Not with the Jaden. I'm going to tame myself. I probably would rather take the yards or in any time for him.
Eckler's at 12.5 for his longest. I like that.
Smash that. I see Brandon said that his receiving's at 22.5. Love that as well. The books are cowards. I think I text you this at least twice a day, or at least once a day, probably. We won't be too dramatic. Ja'Tavion Sanders, like, can I just get a receiving yards line? I'm just waiting for it. I don't know if it's been up since I was looking at these, but his anytime touchdown at plus 650, we've seen. Actually, I will give the Chiefs credit. They have been good the last 2 games, but granted, the tight ends that they went up against were Dawson Knox and Adam Troutman. So I don't know if that's a good sample size there, but they haven't been great against the tight end. His first
Knox, I did play Knox last week. He got over his number.
Yeah, thank God. I was nervous there for a second though. It was not. That was a really annoying sweat, is what it was, because I thank God I didn't ladder it like I was going to.
They only have Chuba Hubbard listed as far as receiving yards, and he's not even a freaking receiver.
What are they waiting for? Like, I don't.
Maybe Adam Thielen.
What's scaring everyone? Like, there's no way that you're adjusting lines over Jonathan fucking Brooks.
I think it may be Adam Thielen that they're probably waiting for.
Oh my God. Give me a break. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. What are we doing here?
We're probably have to wait till Sunday for that number to show up. That's just what's going to happen.
Whatever.
So we're going to be frantically texting on Sunday morning. Like, all right, the number just dropped. Go.
Yeah, I know. I get so pissed too. I think he's one that I probably will wait to bet until Sunday. Like, that'll be a Sunday morning bet is his over receiving.
Yep, love
Chewy
it.
In the chat, what's up? What's your next bet that you like?
Let's go. What do I like this week? I do like Aaron Jones over on his receiving yards.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to take my bet from me, so thank you. But keep going.
Aaron Jones, I do like Caleb Williams this week. We'll get on that side as well. But I know what you're going to get to there. But yeah, Aaron Jones. He's obviously, we know he's been involved in the passing game since he was with the Green Bay Packers. Now coming over for the Minnesota Vikings. I know the last couple weeks, there was a stretch there where he wasn't really involved in the passing game, which was the last 2 weeks against the Jaguars and the Titans. But I think he gets back to that this week for this Minnesota Vikings team. Numbers at 15.5. You know how I do it. I'll take the longest reception to go over, and I'll take the receiving yards to go over, hoping that he just gets it all done in one catch for me. So that was the one I did like for the Minnesota Vikings side.
I like it. I feel like we're going to get also. Shout out to anyone that drafted Aaron Jones in fantasy, because he is giving you at least a nice outing, and everyone left him for dead. I did not.
I think you say the same thing about Mixon as well.
Yeah. What is up with, like, I think everyone is so ageist that they were scared because there was a lot of fading Derrick Henry. Not really Saquon, but yeah, like Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is having like a really good year. I gave it out on Twitter, I think, when the lines dropped. I just went straight to his alt because the Bears, the last 3 games, are giving up the 5th most rushing yards. You look at Josh Jacobs had 76 against them, Stevenson 74, James Conner 107. I think how do you even say, is it DeMarcado?
DeMarcado, yeah.
Like avocado. Had like 60, 59 maybe it was against them. Brian Robinson had 65. You get the point. I don't have to keep going on and on. I took a 70 plus. I wouldn't blame anyone to take it a little bit higher than that. I think I gave it out at plus 135. It's down to plus 115. So I think I'm on to something there. I also tried to look for Cam Akers, who looks low-key very good. Like, I don't know how much you've seen of Cam Akers, but he looks solid. Like, I'm going to give that he will not die. Like, he just keeps coming back. That guy has 7 lives, like, for real.
But is the question, has he fumbled yet since he's joined the Vikings?
Not yet. So that's why this week, as a gift to everyone, you don't have to do it. I took his anytime touchdown at plus 400. Okay. So what he'll do is fumble at the goal line, and it'll be great. But when his rushing yards come out, I'll probably look to that. Maybe lean his longest rush, because I don't know how much involvement he's going to get, but he runs hard. Like, you would not know that he tore his Achilles twice.
11 or more on his longest rush attempt 3 weeks in a row. 11 against the Jags, 13 against the Colts, and then he had 12 against the Titans last week as well. So maybe I'm
a big Aaron Jones girl. We could just stay in that game if you want, because we talked about this. You alerted me to it. Caleb Williams. What are you doing? What are you doing at plus 114 to throw an interception, buddy? No, thank you. We're definitely going to take that. I think that there is, I mean, I feel very, very confident about it. You know who else is going to throw an interception is Sam Darnold. You had a clean game last week. No, not this week. It's just not going to happen. It's not possible for you. It's not in your DNA. He threw 5 between the 2 games prior to his nice little clean game. So if you want to parlay them and get crazy, it's like you can get over plus 300 odds. But I like both of them to throw on.
It's funny because like the Vikings have intercepted every single quarterback this season. I think except for Jared Goff. And
it's crazy to me, to be honest.
Right. And I know like with Caleb Williams, the numbers, it is what it is right now because he hasn't thrown one in 4 straight games. But the Vikings have faced, I think it's like been 8 different quarterbacks that have a release time. I'm getting nerdy here, under 2.5 their release time, and they've intercepted every one of those quarterbacks. So
that's why your handle is sports nerd.
Yeah, there you go. So shout out to J Mark in the house. There he is. He's a Bears fan. He came in at the right time.
Amazing. Sorry, shit.
But yeah,
you have a good game though.
It's just a value play. Like you don't get that at plus money, especially going up against a Vikings defense. I think that's just what it was for me.
It's very rare to find these plus money interception props because they're so diluted because everyone ruined them the way that they've ruined the first touchdown market as well. But I like both of them to throw one. The other thing I looked at in that game, which I feel like I'm really heavy on this game, I'll only give out one more for that game. Romo Dunze's longest is over 18.5 at minus 115. I've talked about the Vikings secondary. I'm not going to keep talking about it. Like that is a fatal flaw for them. The Titans cooked them. You saw Calvin Ridley, what's his face that won't go away, and I might start him in freaking what's his name? Westbrook. How do you say his name?
Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Yeah.
The long, it barely fits on his fucking jersey. That's how long his name is. And obviously there is some type of connection there between Odunze and Caleb. You've seen that he's gone over this longest 2 of the last 4, especially if the Vikings get up early like they've done in some of their games, maybe not as of late. I could see him kind of just slinging it out.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see, or this is a buy low opportunities because they have a new offensive coordinator.
Right.
So I think their focal point of the offense now is going to be Rome Odunze and obviously DJ Moore there. And you saw last week, I think both of those guys had double-digit targets. Odunze 6 receptions last week. J Mark's mentioning that on his over 3.5 receptions. Love that. But like you mentioned, his longest reception has been flying over as well. So I think our eyes will be glued to this game. This might be on the big screen because of the props we have in this game.
I know, absolutely. No, actually, and I'm not going to do it just because I do have too much on this game, but I did flirt with the idea of taking a Bears running back under because the Vikings have just been phenomenal against the run. Like if there is a bright spot on that team, which there's quite a few. Also, you know what? JJ is really fucking due for like an annoyingly good game.
I want to say he's been pretty good against the Bears in his career, but you can say that against like every other team as well. But it's hard because
this defense is like a different defense than what you've seen in years past for the Bears too.
Oh yeah, so he's played in 6 career games against the Bears. 4 of those 6 games, he's had 104 or more receiving yards. Which now I'm curious to see what his longest receptions are in those games. I have to go through my game.
I bet his line was his line at probably 28.5, to be honest.
I remember his rookie season, it was like 21.5, 20.5. And
if you could get an under 25.5 like on JJ any week, I would be the happiest person alive. Like I don't think they've set that below 20, like 7.5 in weeks.
It's at 26.5 right now.
Is it? Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna mega lock anything, but I
26 or more. Wait, sorry, I said what? 25.5, 26.5, 26.5.
Okay, that's a nice number.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4 weeks he's gone over this number: 27, 41, and he had 31 last week against the Titans.
Okay.
Can't talk.
I'm waiting for that JJ2 touchdown game. It's gonna happen. I don't know when. It's not gonna be against the Bears. Maybe it will. I don't know. Do you like anything else in that game?
I was considering Caleb Williams over on his passing yards in this game.
Yeah.
But the numbers starting to move against me a little bit. It was at 203.5, starting to see some 199.5 pop up, which is kind of holding me back. But if this gets low enough, I would probably jump on it. I'm not sure if there's any weather factor in this game or not, but that was what I was looking at just because of the offensive coordinator change there for the Chicago Bears. And but yeah, maybe I'll make that decision.
His over passing touchdowns, but I think I'm just getting too cute with that, and I think it's going to lead to me being pissed off. Is the problem?
But it's also what you mentioned, right? Like you want to fade these running backs against the Vikings, which is going to have to enable these quarterbacks to throw the football against the Vikings there. So I think that if the Bears want to keep this game competitive, or even if they're playing from behind, Caleb Williams is going to have to throw the football. So I'll wait till game time to see if I make that decision for him.
I'm with you. What else are you liking this weekend?
What else do we like? Let me pull up the schedule. Let's go to the Denver Broncos. I have plenty of
every single receiver longest over. I don't know. Vile, whatever the fuck his name. Okay, I have to be honest. Could I just tell something funny? And I hope none of my friends watch my fucking show. I troll. I have an all-girls fantasy league, and I'm doing pretty well in it now. Okay. I lost the first 3, but I've won out straight, knock on wood now, because I probably just jinxed myself. But I do this thing every week where like I don't need to pick someone up, but I pick up like a random name that I know is gonna make people panic because they're like, why is she picking this person up? And so I picked up Vile this week, and someone texted me like, who was that you just picked up? I was like, oh, you don't know him? Like, why would they know him? It's just
we started a family one this year, and I think I'm gonna do that strategy next year. But the problem is that we only have 6 teams right now, so everybody has like a super ass team.
And if I can't find someone to pick up, I do something so stupid. Like I will literally drop my defense. Like I'll pick do it on first. Like I'll drop my defense or my kicker and pick up like the most random person. I think it's funny. I don't know. It's a joke for myself. I freak everyone out because the second I do something, you see everyone start doing something, and it's just funny. It's
a trickle effect.
Am I mean? That's kind of mean. I'm being a bully there a little bit. What were you saying? I totally interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So I made a big boo-boo thinking Vile was their tight end, but it's really Adam Troutman. I don't know why. Maybe because it was Monday, with the second worst day of the week. But I don't know why I thought he was a tight end. But I still played him. Over on his receiving yards, it was at 31.5. It's moved up to 32.5. I think it's still on the move to 33.5. But he's a guy that's really been getting yards. His yards per catch is skyrocketing because he's only been targeted 4 times over the last 2 weeks, or each of those 2 games. But his yardage is getting there for him. So I think that he'll continue to be involved in the passing game, especially against his Raiders pass defense, which we know historically has not been very good. I know Courtland Sutton, especially since that Saints game, has just really taken off. But I think Vile is really starting to develop himself as maybe number 2 for this Denver Broncos offense, especially with Bo Nix.
He's like 26. Did you know that?
Yeah. This is his rookie year, right? Isn't it? Yeah, he's 26.
He's 100. You old man. What?
In NFL years, he's old, getting drafted as a rookie.
I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, so over 31.5, I did play that, and of course, I'll play the longest reception for him to go over as well. I'll throw out one more. Do you like
Bo Nix? Like, are you in on Bo Nix? Are we in on Bo Nix? Because I don't know how I feel.
Shit, last week I was all over his passing yards, and he
hits every longest reception. It's a joke. Like, it's the easiest bet I've ever made in my entire life.
I think the time I want to back Bo Nix is probably at home. I know he's on the road this week, road favorite, but it is against the Raiders. I think he's in a good situation with Sean Payton, because I think Payton he's putting him in the right situations and making him comfortable with the throws that he can make, whether it's off of play action or whatever the case might be. But I think they have their guy now in for the future, at least for this Denver Broncos team with Bo Nix. As long as Payton
applies for AARP, but yes, for sure.
There you go. So I do like him, and I think if they get him another receiver or 2 next to Sutton, I think they'll be competitive, at least in that AFC West division. I mean, I know Mahomes is still there, but
I think they're shutting up. Like, next year, I have to not be negative about them, but I have been. How are you feeling about the Minshew under 12.5 yards? Just through 282, but it's Denver D, which is fantastic this year. I kind of thought they were going to regress. They did not do that. He's hit the under.
It's only when
most
Surtain is out.
I kind of like the under. What's the number on that?
His let me see the updated number, because I know I saw it at 212.5 as well. Like J Mark is mentioning.
Yeah.
God, where did it go? They don't even have it on board yet at DraftKings. What the hell's going on? But I think the only pushback I would have with it is that if the Denver Broncos do get out to a multiple possession lead, that they're going to have to be forced to throw the football. And I'm sure he already knows this, but they're pretty thin in the backfield without Alexander Mattison and Zamir White possibly this week. So they're going to have to rely on Amir Abdullah. And look, Amir Abdullah has actually came in those roles and done pretty well. That would be the only pushback I have for this Minshew one. But I do like Brock Bowers. He's been my guy this season. I like his over receiving yards.
He hurt?
Who?
No,
Bowers?
He's good. He's fine, right?
Yeah, he tore it up last week against the Dolphins. I think he had like
he's so
11
good.
receptions.
It's a shame because like he's kind of offensive rookie of the year. If we're gonna be hot takey, like he's like really, really good.
He's gonna get 1,000 receiving yards like in the next couple games. He's already at 700. But yeah, I like his over. I think by far, like he's the number one guy on the offensive side as far as the receiving group goes. I mean, Jane Daniels minus 400, Brock Bowers at 30-1.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't bet. I don't know why I haven't been taking advantage of Brock Bowers this year. Like I have not been betting him enough. Him and Trey McBride, I need to bet more. I'm going to do a Trey McBride, Brock Bowers parlay this week. I don't know what it's going to be, but I need to do that.
Those two guys, especially Trey McBride, I know the fantasy community was really high on him this season.
They were really high on.
He's done pretty well. So
fucking Zamir White too. So they could all shut up. They missed a lot this year. I feel like the fantasy community is in shambles a little bit about some of the hot guys this year. I want to give out one more interception prop.
Yeah.
And this is strictly because this quarterback has only thrown one. And I think he's going to be throwing the ball quite a bit this game. And that's Herbert. His interception is to throw one is sitting at minus 108. I mean, he's only thrown one. And I think this is going to be a game where you're going to see him airing it out, which is why I like quite a few of the longest receptions for those guys. But I'm in on the Herbert to throw a pick this week.
It makes sense. Back. No, it makes sense just because, again, something similar we talked about the Vikings, right? Like their rush defense is really good. The Ravens, I think, have the best in the entire league next to the Chiefs. So they're going to be forced to throw the football. And, he's at minus 145 for a reason. I think Justin Herbert has gotten a lot of backlash over the last several seasons just because their head coach was an idiot in Brandon Staley when he was there. I forgot the other guy's name that they had. Anthony Lynn, I think, was there as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
But Harbaugh's put him in the right position, something similar to Sean Payton, right? With Bo Nix, that when they run the football, they do well. Yeah. Defense is playing great, and he looks good as each week has gone on. I know he had a foot injury coming into the season, but he had a run last week where he was looking like Vanilla Vic out there. So, yeah, I couldn't talk you off with the interception prop against his Ravens.
Okay, I'll make you feel better because I wasn't hating. I think Herbert's going to have a huge game. I wasn't being
No, I get it. Yeah.
I think McConkey is banged up. Am I wrong about that? Am I reading all of this injury news wrong? Did I not see a little notification or no? I don't really look at injury reports. Like it doesn't really bother me, unfortunately. I'm like not a weather injury person.
We need to get you a meteorologist and we need to get you a doctor is what we need to do.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't see anything about him dealing with an injury.
Okay, great. So I made that up. Whatever his longest is, then I like it. I also like Quentin Johnston's. That one is sitting at 21.5 minus 115. This is a guy, actually, in my notes, I quite literally have throw respect on him, fantasy twerps. Like everyone was so out on him. And I think he's just a player that needed to develop and come into his own. And then Herbert also balling out and having a good coach and having the system around him looks very good on him. So he's gone over this 2 of his last 3 with a 27 and 66 yarder. I don't know if yarder is a word, but also his receiving yards are 46.5. And we know what the secondary is. So that feels low to me. Minus 112.
It makes sense.
I don't hate his under reception over yards type thing either.
Yeah, he's like their downfield guy. He also has a speed there as well, right? For the Chargers, and also a guy that you can find in the red zone. So I'm gonna put together a anytime touchdown for him as well. I couldn't talk you off of that.
I feel like they call that same play all the time, and then he doesn't get the fucking ball. But it could easily be a touchdown. They've done it like 18 times this year. It drives me fucking crazy.
What do you think about the J.K. Dobbins revenge angle, or if there is one?
Okay, J.K. Dobbins is so. When did I quote Chris Collinsworth? I love J.K. Dobbins. I'm so about it. I think what's his anytime touchdown? Probably nothing fun.
I mean, since he's a running back, it may be. Let's see. JK, where is he? I gotta scroll all the way down. Dobbins is minus 205.
It's what?
Minus 205 for any touchdown.
No, be fucking for real. Like I'm not
serious.
betting on that. I'm sorry. I'd rather bet him 2 touchdowns than I would bet him 1.
I'll let you take a guess on what his 2 touchdowns are.
I swear to God, if it's shorter than plus 400, I'm gonna lose.
It's plus 275.
No, it's not. Like, are the what do you fucking mean? Like, what is going on? And you know what's crazy is people are still gonna bet that. They're gonna do it.
Yeah. Everybody loves a revenge angle. Guess what his first touchdown score odds are?
What are we doing? Come on. Do not bet that, please. God.
Guess what his first touchdown score odds are?
At this rate, plus 450.
Yeah, plus 475. He's
not bad. There we go.
He's behind Derrick Henry at plus 280. I don't know why I thought
like
it would
Derrick
be plus
Henry
odds.
is kind of, it feels very automatic with him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this is like him and CMC are like in a class of their own for anytime touchdown because Derrick Henry's at minus 320 for anytime touchdown.
That's crazy.
2 touchdowns are at plus 175. But I also do like Will Dissly in this game.
I was just about to say that. Go ahead. You take it away.
No, I was just going to mention that. I mean, he had a great game last week for the Chargers against the Bengals. And, you know, he's found that chemistry and rapport with Justin Herbert. So the targets have increased over the last 2 weeks. I mean, he's had flashes, but it's really honestly just fading or betting on tight ends against the Baltimore Ravens. Them and the Chiefs have been the 2 worst defenses against the tight end position. I think that continues this week. You may get another Will Dissly first touchdown in this game or anytime touchdown. That number plus 185 for anytime touchdown, 15-1 for first touchdown score. But I do like his receiving yards this week. I'll tell you that much.
You know what I really like with Will Dissly? Now everyone hold on to their butts. This is going to be shocking. His longest reception over 17.5 minus 104. Yeah, I'm a fan of Will Dissly. He was on the Seahawks, right? He was rotting on the Seahawks. The Seahawks love to hoard fucking tight ends and not use them properly. And then they go to another team and it's like, oh shit, this guy's in the league and he's pretty good. Like if he was still in the Seahawks, you'd get like 1 first touchdown out of him.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing him kind of flourish here. But I think it's also like giving credit to Herbert and what he's doing right now.
17.5 is his longest reception.
I love it.
For this week. So yeah, I like him this week. That's it for that game. I was looking at Cooper Kupp this week against the Eagles, but their secondary has been really good since their bye week. So
I know. It's so
and that's Sunday Night Football as well. But
I was so upset when they drafted Mitchell. Like I loved him and I wanted him so badly. And now I have to watch him on the Eagles. It sucks.
It's just a story of your life. Now I got Saquon Barkley over there. Let's just put the cherry on top and just have Daniel Jones go be the backup there, like you mentioned earlier.
Daniel Jones. I'm not gonna get there yet. Do you have any other games that you want to talk about before I give out two Giants props? Everyone, shocking! I got 2 Giants props. Any other games props that you want to give out?
I was looking at, I mean, you're talking about the Giants. I'll let you take it away, but I was looking at Neighbors, but I know that the groin injury popped up, but I'll let you take it away for your team.
I'm not looking at Neighbors because I'm a hater. I know I texted you. I think that there is value on his anytime touchdown. I also really need him to get over that 4.5 receiving touchdowns for the year. So I would love if Thomas DeVito, I'm not calling him anything else, this is his birth name, his name is Thomas DeVito, would help me out with that. That game is just going to be, it's going to be good. Theo Johnson, I talk about him a lot.
Yes.
His receiving yards is 19.5. Taking the over on that, -115. I also like his longest, 11.5. I think he's going to be Thomas DeVito's little pacifier. And when he doesn't have Theo, again, this might cash in the fourth quarter because Dable, for some reason, forgets about him until the end of the game. His other pacifier, which I found out actually while doing my research, his birthday's tomorrow. So maybe we have a birthday weekend angle here.
Whose birthday?
Tyrone Tracy, turning 75 years old. I like his over 60.5 rushing. He's gone over this 3 straight, including a game of 103 and 145, I think. If Kareem Hunt can get 106 yards against the Bucs, I'm really not worried about Tracy getting over the 60.5. But what I like more than his rushing is actually his longest, the 15.5 -110, over 2 of the last 3. I flirted with his receiving yards because that line is so low, but I don't want to get too cute with this game. I also don't want to have too much money in this game because I fucking hate the Giants and everything about them and the Maras. So we're not gonna be investing too much money in this game. But those are the 2 I will give out.
The Tracy one I do like as well. I think that's a good angle. I wonder how many people have said Danny DeVito this week when talking about Tommy DeVito.
Did you know it was his birthday the day that they announced that they were starting Thomas DeVito?
It was really like DeVito's birthday?
No, it's quite literally his fucking birthday, the same day.
I think they do this shit on purpose. It might
That's
be
what I'm saying. Like, we're living in a fucking simulation. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Are we sure it's not like Daniel Jones' birthday today?
No, his birthday's in March, I think.
Okay, look at you.
I don't know why I did that. His middle name's Steven. I don't know him anymore.
Daniel Jones is going to be that long X or that X that you're always missing, that you're going to be always talking about, but you completely hate, but you still want him around.
You know who I hate, actually? Everyone wants to be like all cute and angry at Daniel Jones, which, like, granted, yeah, he fucking sucked. I watched the fucking games too, everyone. Like, I know, I get it. But he also like was given like the very short end of the stick, starting with the fact that don't fucking draft him 6 overall coming out of Duke. Like, he just shouldn't have been drafted there. You gave
should have been a red flag that he went to Duke.
Like, holy shit, you gave him the worst O-line for 5 years straight in the entire league. The fucking best. Who the fuck was that receiver that he was throwing? He was throwing at Slayton, and oh my god, why can't I think of his name? No one will know his name. He's not a household name. And then they upgraded it to. They're like, oh, actually, let's give him a receiver. Here's geriatric Golden Tate. Like, what the fuck? That's not like. What are we doing? You changed every coach, every single like it. It was a shit show. The kid was set up for failure. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, and at the end of the day, guess what? It's the Maras. They paid him. You chose to pay him. You look like fucking clowns, to be honest. Like, oh yeah, Daniel wasn't performing. No, you idiots. Why did you pay him then? Like, it's so stupid and ridiculous. I hate the Maras. I want them out. I'm not a fan. I can't with the Giants right now. Like, this was the most ridiculous. I feel like this is so funny. I sent a text to my mom. I was like, I feel like I don't know the Giants. Like, whatever this week was like the skankiest, nastiest. Like, it was just, I hated it. Daniel Jones sucks. We need a new quarterback. Fine. But like, can you have a little class? Like, Jesus.
Yeah. I think this goes for like any quarterback that you pay a lot of money to, or you bring in as a rookie. And I think this is one thing I've appreciated about the Texans is that when they did draft CJ Stroud, I know the offensive line hasn't been that great this season, but that's the first thing you need to do is get them a legitimate offensive line or above average offensive line and get your quarterback weapons. And I think that the Giants have failed to do that when they paid Daniel Jones. And then I think to cover
I can't fucking do it. Okay, go ahead. I've had a really long day.
And then, like, you let Saquon go because you didn't want to pay him the $5 million, and now he's ripping you a new asshole that now he's with the Eagles.
Did you see his quote about Daniel?
I didn't. What did he say?
I was just like, yeah, it didn't work for me there. Hopefully, like, he goes somewhere and finds the success I have because it's like great kind of thing. And I'm like, good for you, Saquon. I don't even care.
I tweeted this out and I told you this. I was like, Jerry Jones has the opportunity to do the funniest thing and the greatest thing ever by just signing Daniel Jones this weekend and starting him on Thursday on Thanksgiving Day.
You know when I should have known that the Maras were the stupidest little string beans in the entire league? They hired a fucking special teams coordinator to be their head coach. Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I'm sorry. In the history of when have we what are you hired Joe Judge to me? What the fuck were we doing then? Like, that's like, honestly, I tweeted it out, like, Plaxico shooting himself, it was foreshadowing for like the rest of, and then the boat picture, like, it's actually crazy and it's the mayor's fault. And I stand on that. And they better fucking hope to God. This is not a threat. I don't want the video to get taken down. I will burn MetLife down, which maybe isn't a threat because we need to do. If they do not get this quarterback right, I swear to God, I'm burning it to the ground.
I felt that way when they traded.
Irritated. My heart is racing. Like, this is the angriest I'm not happy. They hired. Oh my God, they hired Jason Garrett. Like, are you guys fucking stupid? Are you stupid? I cannot. Joe Judge, Jason Garrett. This is a joke. It's a joke. You're a joke. They're a circus act. I can't even. Oh my God.
The guy with the mustache and the hair, what was his name?
Which one? Which mustache?
McAdoo.
There's so many of them.
Bob McAdoo, right? What, that was his name?
Oh my God. No, they fucked up. First of all, this all started with Coughlin. They did Coughlin dirty, and it's been a fucking shit show since. And then they probably should have just not gotten rid of Pat Shurmur. They should have let Danny had fucking some continuity there. I can't. I just, like, honestly.
Ben McAdoo, sorry.
Giants, thank you for the Super Bowls, but you're pissing me off.
Now, would you trade those Super Bowls for a better run organization right now?
No, I wouldn't, which is fine. But it's annoying because I think that the Giants roster is in a really nice spot, but I have 0% faith that they picked the right quarterback. Like, literally 0.
I would almost want them to have, or for your sake, to get the number 2 pick, because if the Texans,
it's the first, I'm going to blow my brains out. I swear to God. I will genuinely not be okay. I just swear to God.
And this is why I'm thankful so much for Lovie Smith, because he won that game for us and we ended up with the number 2 pick to get CJ Stroud, because the Panthers took Bryce Young. And I felt like if we had the number 1 pick, they would have taken Bryce Young and we would be sitting here having the same conversation. But I'm praying as for you. I have a lot of Giants fans in my life as friends, which I didn't know I had now. But
there's a lot of us in the, like, SGPN, like, community.
Yeah, there's a lot. And there's a lot of Yankee fans as well. I just can't do it with Yankee fans. You guys don't get me started on that. But it's either going to be Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. So I don't think you can get wrong with either one.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think we need Sanders. I haven't watched enough to give, like, a strong stance. I know people keep, like, asking me about it. Usually I don't have to fucking start draft shit this early. I at least get my holidays in before I usually dive deep into it. But I think we need attitude. Like, I actually want a quarterback that has some semblance of aura. Like, I need someone that, like, is cool. Does that make sense?
I need somebody that's cool. I was like, yeah, somebody has the vibes and the swag. I think you can't go wrong with either one of those guys.
Like, give me something. Stop being like, they're just lettuce. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't. I'm not interested.
What's gonna happen to you if Aaron Rodgers makes a trip across the other side?
This is not gonna happen. Like, I just think. I can't. Like, I honestly, it's funny. Like, I can't. I think I'm having a mental breakdown.
Oh God, that laugh just said.
Can't do that. I think
that laugh right there just like we need to make sure to
I mean, I'm shaking. Like, I'm quite literally shaking. I think
I'm going to have to do wellness checks on you throughout the off season.
I think the Mariners they're going to find some way to get Arch Manning. Like, because they're so dumb. Like, they're the stupidest people ever that, like, in their head, good quarterback, all they know is just, like, Manning. And it's like, oh, yeah, one of the Mannings used to coach Daniel Jones at a fucking camp when he was 8 years old, and then you drafted him. Like, I swear to God, they're stupid. Like, they're literally stupid.
Well, let's go all the way with it and just make offensive coordinator Eli Manning too while we're at it.
That's fine. Can he buy the fucking team before I lose my mind? Like, please, Eli.
Maybe the Manning brothers, they've got enough money to maybe buy the franchise. They could get investors. They have pull.
I'm excited for draft season. It is my favorite time of the year. I look forward to the Giants ruining it for me, but
especially if they have obviously a top pick this year, so we'll see. Hopefully it's top 2. If it's top 5, you're going to get like a Baker Mayfield type of guy that's going to come through, like a Jameis Winston.
If you guys want to see me have like an actual meltdown, if yours, first of all, dumb last name. Second of all, if he is my quarterback, I may be dumb. Like, I'm done. And then if Carson Beck even gets drafted in the 6th round, I will lose it.
Well, I got plenty of room for you over here. Oh wait!
I know. I gotta put my Stroud shirt. Well, can they also figure it out too? Like, I need one team. I need one.
No, we're on the right track. I actually have faith in this front office. I know, like, Nick Caserio was looked like a lunatic sometimes, but he's done it. I give him the stamp of approval. We got the quarterback. They swung for the fences. They got Stroud. I mean, they got Diggs. Unfortunately, came down with the ACL. Got Joe Mixon. Just fix the offensive line. That's all I have left for this team to do. Other than that, I think
they're there. They're going to be fine. My Texans, our Texans are going to be okay. Any other bets for this week? I will calm down off of that Giants rant because I'm fucking sweating, to be honest. Like, this is like, it's actually so messed up how much fandom like messes.
I have a bet.
Oh, yay! Tell me, Ryan.
Hello, sir.
I have a bet. You wanted me to say it?
Yeah. No, I want you to keep it in.
That would have been weird if I came in and said I have a bet and then left and didn't say it.
Yeah. It better be
good. So I think that
all my money on it. All of
Trey McBride is due for a receiving touchdown. He has not had a receiving touchdown yet this season. He had 3 receiving touchdowns last season, and he only got started about halfway through the season. And he has one rushing TD, so they use him in rushing too packages. So Trey McBride, anytime TD plus 200. What do you think?
I like it. I think we take it a step further and we degen it to close out the show here. I think we parlay it with Jatavion Sanders anytime and a Brock Bowers anytime.
Oh, I like it. That's sexy.
A tight end parlay, touchdown parlay this week. I think that's the way to go.
All the ass.
That could be a regular thing, like Stephie's tight end parlay.
That'll go well in my DM. My DMs have been.
That will go great in your DMs. Stephie's tight end parlays.
Yeah. Gosh. Any other bets out of the two of you?
I'll keep my mouth shut because I had a comment to make, but. We need to get a story out of McKee one more time before we get out of here.
I know. I want to see
on any other random stories.
Oh yeah. So I was in
time with McKee.
What's that?
I said story time with McKee. Let's hear it.
Oh, story time with McKee.
Yeah. What do you have? What do you have for me? Anything good? Also, like, subscribe, rate, and review.
So I was in North Carolina last week, and I was doing a comedy show at a small bar that was in Sneed's Ferry, which is a very marine-heavy area. Like, there's a marine base there. And this young woman came up to me after the show and was hitting on me very hard. And I was like, oh, this is a layup. And then she told me she's a Marine. What? And yeah. Like
that was going somewhere else, but okay.
And then
I got it.
I think I've had too many high noons now.
And then like her, you know what? I was like, "Do you want to go back to my hotel with me?" And she's like, "Hell yeah!" And I was like, "I can't not give one up for the troops, right?" So, guys,
crazy. Was
it
Veterans Day? That's very nice.
Didn't Veterans Day just go by?
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, didn't Veterans Day just go by?
Yeah, it was just Veterans Day. Yeah. So I was servicing the troops, guys.
Congrats on the sex. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I always like to come. I always like to come and tell. No, sorry. I always like to tell the group when I have sex, Munaf, because I'm just excited about it. And I don't have. I hadn't had sex for like 10 years because I was married.
This might have. How long in between, McKee, did this happen that you got laid?
What's that?
Like you just said, you had the Marine time, but how long in between your last time and this Marine did you have to wait to have sex?
48 hours.
Oh, there you go. My man. I'll cheers to that.
Okay, I'm leaving it on this note. I have one question for the both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. How do I want to phrase this? What player, like, has to be a starting player at their position for their team, gets laid the least?
The long snapper.
And why is it Kirk Cousins?
I was gonna say Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I was gonna say Kirk Cousins.
Oh my god! All right, let's get out of here.
We're
gonna win
Netflix
some money.
documentary with him. That'll answer your question. The quarterbacks, like that quarterback.
Yeah, I watched it. He probably gets laid a bunch from his Christian wife.
Actually, they probably do. I think the Christians are freaky, kind of. Like I could see it. He's in Michigan, actually. Well, they spent their bye week here. They're in Saugatuck.
How would you know that?
I mean, people are weird in Michigan. They've seen Kirk Cousins. They're very like, they go out. Like they'll just be at like the fucking Christmas market. Like they're very out and about. They'll be on their beach. It's like kind of like they don't hide.
Well,
hey, if anybody's watching from Arizona this weekend, I'm doing a big show tonight with Todd Barry at Crescent Ballroom, and tomorrow, any Tucson viewers, I'll be in Tucson tomorrow night with Todd Barry.
And you may get laid by McKee.
Shout out Todd Barry.
And if you are a hot female Marine, you never know, you might get lucky.
Why does she have to be a Marine?
We'll put a parlay together. I'll put it out. I also am going to start doing, because everyone is, maybe I'm obsessed, but I keep getting requests to get.
Could we do the hot Marine parlay?
I don't know how to do. No, but we can do longest reception parlay. Which is
I'm just waiting for the day.
I'm gonna do a video and get that out probably tomorrow.
I'm just waiting for the day we're all in Vegas and we take Stephie to go get longest like tattooed across like somewhere because she's always on.
I want to get LR. I was thinking.
Yeah, like longest rush, longest reception to get done. So
no, you know what? We're gonna get Stephie is instead of a tramp stamp, she's gonna have a QR code there. And you scan it, and it just opens up DraftKings. It just opens up DraftKings longest reception props.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Circa with my bikini.
So when you're having sex with her from behind, you can also be betting longest reception.
Enough, and that's where we're gonna end it, everyone. We do need a trip to Vegas, though. I thank you so much. Shout out Circa. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
All right, that's it.
That's it. I tried to close out like 8 times, and then you started talking about me.
Break it